What is up guys, Andy Forest Team Runner here and welcome back to another video. Two things to talk about today. Number one, training, and number two, talking all about a shoe that I've already, in 7 runs, got to 100 miles. As we approach the end of week 6, I thought it'd be a good time to pretty much recap on what the training has been like, what we've done, how I felt it's worked, and now what's going to be changing moving forwards into the second half of this speed block to hopefully get me more streamlined and ready to attack that sub 34 10-minute goal. And then of course we're going to talk all about this shoe, which I'm sure you can guess which one it is, but I'm going to keep being mysterious anyway. The shoe we got to 100 miles already and yeah, it's surprised me just quite how quickly we've got there. But hey, do you know what, if you love a shoe, you're gonna wear it. So excited to share both those thoughts with you today. Getting an easy run done. Week has shifted around slightly due to various things, due to the race mainly on Tuesday. So just out here enjoying the sun, getting 70 minutes of easy done. So a lovely 9-mile run completed this morning, 70 minutes nice and easy out there on the trails. We've got some gorgeous weather at the moment and I am making the most of it. And it's about time I sat down and give you guys a bit of a training update, because obviously we are now approaching halfway through this training block. So I just want to give a very quick recap in a nutshell how things have been going. I'm obviously still producing the weekly videos where I'm talking about some of my training and taking you on some of the workouts. But if I give you a bit more of a generic overview, talk about some stats and mileage and all that stuff, and then we can roll on to talk about the shoe that we've got to 100 miles already. So let's give you a quick rundown of training. Currently in 5 weeks completed, into the 6th week now of training. And when we complete this week, it's going to be halfway through. I think we've got 6 weeks and a day, because the goal race is on a Monday evening, July the 4th, until that goal race. So I think we're tipping, at the end of this week, we're going to be tipping that halfway point, which is really, really exciting. I did have an extra week after Cardiff Half Marathon, but I'm not including that in my training block because that was just a bit of a fun week, a bit of a down week, and just kind of doing a couple of snappy workouts in there just to get the legs turning over, ready for starting things the week after. But this training block has been slightly differently, obviously, with the changing of the schedule. Started off with my usual Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, with Monday being moderate and then Tuesday and Thursday workouts, Friday nice and easy, and then a Saturday long run with a Sunday and a Wednesday being a rest day. Obviously then week 2 or 3 into that training block, I think it was week 3, I was then able to shift the schedule and finally add in an extra run. I've done a video all about that, double threshold day, and then also talking a little bit about a change in that future video about the new schedule: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, rest day Thursday, run Friday, Saturday, and then rest Sunday. But that Wednesday is indeed a double day. So now I'm getting 6 runs in rather than 5, and that happened, as I said, in week 3. So week 4 I think it was, because week 4 and 5 I've done a double threshold run. I'm in week 6 now, close to the end, and I'm going to be doing my double threshold run this week on a Friday because I did the Rose In race on a Tuesday. So it's a little bit shifted around this week, but that's happening on Friday. So when I've completed that this week, that's going to be the 3rd week where I've done a double threshold run. So all in all, things started really well. I felt really fit and things are still going well. But the main change that I want to talk about is that I've now dedicated an extra run to being an easy run. And that's just because I'm trying to be a little bit careful with doing this double threshold running. Obviously, I'm not used to double days, and to go into double days and not only just doing like a double easy day, but now doing a double threshold day is quite an intense jump. So what I'm trying to make sure I do, and I'm obviously very aware of the risks of doing that, but what I'm trying to be aware of is A, taking my morning session nice and easy, but secondly, having a second dedicated easy run. So I've actually done my 2 dedicated easy runs for this week. This week has been shifted around, but normally it would be on a Tuesday and then on a Friday, I think. So this week is slightly different. It was Thursday and then it was Monday before the Rose In race. But either way, dropping the moderate run, dropping the intensity and going out there. And what I'm also trying to do is really dial back that easy run. So if you follow me on Strava, you'll have noticed some of the heart rates and things coming down slightly on some of the runs. I'm just trying to dial things back and be a little bit more cautious. I was quite conservative today, heart rate 132 beats a minute. So rather than pushing top end easy, I'm letting things come down because I'm aware of what I've got tomorrow, double threshold day, and then of course a long run on the weekend. So that's been the biggest shift, the biggest change, but overall things have been good. And so far I've hit over 3,000 foot in elevation each week, which is another box that I'm trying to tick, but things are going to start to get more specific. So let's talk about the two changes that are going to be happening now moving into next week, probably the week after now, because next week I'm going to ease off the intensity a bit because I've got Cardiff Bay 10K. And I'm certainly going to give sub 34 a good crack, all being well if weather's good and it's not too windy out on the barrage there, because that is the area that if it's going to scupper any plans, that will be it. So all being well, I'll certainly give it a crack. So I'll dial back a little bit. Still going to do the double Wednesday, might end up just kind of easing back off of it. It's not the goal race, but certainly intensity in and around that will dial back on some of the other runs in particular. I haven't yet mapped out where I'm going to dial things back, but it will be an easier week next week for sure. But after that, the two areas that are going to change are the Monday workout and the Saturday long runs. The Monday workout, at the moment, they're the critical velocity, they're the top end speed. I'd say they're faster than 5k pace. Some of the intervals are like 3k pace and mile pace. Like, it's really where I'm going to work on my speed, my turnover, my drills and strides, all of that stuff. What's going to happen now is I'm going to be starting to dial that back to 5k pace. So again, reminder, that's not next week, it will be the week after, and that's going to give me like 5 weeks probably, or 4 weeks to dial into that sort of stuff. And it's going to be certainly more geared towards specificity. So I'm not going to be going all out. That's going to be longer reps, shorter floats. Longer reps, shorter recoveries, and those recoveries are going to turn into floats. So I'm working on keeping the heart rate up for higher, for longer, but hopefully working at a more manageable intensity, working in and around that goal 10k pace. So probably it'll be like 5 to 10k pace that those workouts will be. Threshold days will stay the same. That's not changing. That's my experiment. That's ongoing. And we'll see how that fares towards the end of the block, because I'll have got 6 to 8 double threshold days done by then. So we'll see how I feel after that. But the Monday is the main change. And then the Saturday, at the moment, it's all about long runs, time on feet, getting out there, 2 hour plus long runs, loving them, hilly terrain, all of that stuff. It's going to start to incorporate some efforts now, some tempo efforts. So nothing intense in the slightest, because there's enough intensity going on in the week. But let's call it sort of like maybe marathon pace or a little bit quicker efforts, just to get the heart rate into like the 160s, and just to start to push that long run to be a little bit more of an effort than what it has been at the moment. My long runs have been very relaxed, very enjoyable and great fun, but I know that if I can put a little bit more of an effort into those as well, this all-round formula will certainly gear me towards a faster 10k, working in and around that 10k pace, top end being on the Monday, threshold work on the Wednesday, and then a little bit slower on the weekend long run. So hopefully all that combined will help. That's going to be the big change leading in, not as I said after next week, but after that. Now let's talk about the Brooks Hyperion Tempo, the shoes that I have now got up and over the 100-mile mark. Now I'm not going to reinvent the wheel, I'm not going to go over old ground. I've done older reviews on my first version after 100 miles, 200 miles, 300 miles. They're all out there on YouTube for you to find. You'll get sort of like wear and tear updates and all of that. This is really doing no different to what the other one. There's nothing significant for me to cover. I just want to share my thoughts really on the shoe and how much I'm enjoying it. Like, I used it on an easy run this morning and it was absolutely unbelievable. I don't deny that that's possibly one of the reasons why my heart rate was a little bit lower on this one, because it's just so light and nimble and just fun and economical. And like, if I just at the moment, right now in my rotation, if I just had one shoe, all I would ask for is that thing. I feel like, although it's not a dedicated easy trainer, it's just fun to run in. A moderate pace, that thing is a dream. Workouts, I'm using that on my threshold days. Long runs, that has been my go-to. 3 long runs, I think I've done in it. 3 long runs, 3 workouts, and now an easy run, 7 runs, and I've got it up and over 100 miles already. It's nuts. It was my London Marathon training shoe, and it's probably going to be almost burnt out by the time I get to London Marathon training. I'm planning on using it tomorrow in my double threshold session, and I guarantee you by the end of this speed block, it's probably going to have over 200 miles in it. So there's a serious debate right now as to whether I invest in a 3rd pair fresh for London or not. I mean, ultimately, what we've got coming out is the Magic Speed 2 from Asics. We've got the Endorphin Speed 3 from Saucony, potentially the Zoom Fly 5 with Zoom X in it at some stage from Nike. We've got other speed, the New Balance Super Comp Trainer, I think, coming out from New Balance soon. All these shoes coming over the next 2 to 3 months, which realistically are going to be doing similar jobs to this. So the question is, do I grab another pair or do I wait and test out some of these new ones, which obviously I want to do, and I'll be getting 1 or 2 of what I've just listed anyway for testing. But do I get my old faithful back in for a third pair? Again, I asked last time, if any of you guys know where I can get these shoes on discount, I will probably end up grabbing 1 more pair for fresh for London because I'm using them way too much at the moment. But my general consensus, my general thought on this is I can't believe I've got there already. And to be honest with you, right now, there's no other shoe that I'd rather be using than this thing. If I can have 1 shoe right now for training, this will cover absolutely all bases. You guys know how much I love it. These and the Nova Blasts are just way up and above on another level of any other shoe that I've tested. And for me, they are just absolutely value for money in abundance. Those are my thoughts on this shoe after 100 miles. As I said, reviews are out there, but just in general, just mind blown as to how quickly I've got there, how easy I'm using them, how fast the mileage is getting up there. Scary, to be honest with you. But that's it for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed the training update. Hopefully you've enjoyed my thoughts on this shoe. I'd love to know your thoughts on this shoe as well. I know I get a lot of them in the comments, but if you think I should get a new one or wait for some of these new ones to come out, and actually if any of the ones that I've listed you guys know any release dates for, do drop them in the comments. I have rough ideas of when they are and I've heard rumours, but I certainly have nothing confirmed, so I'd love to know your thoughts on that as well. If you enjoyed today though, guys, please do give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for weekly running content, and as always, I'll see you on the next one. Until then.